One of perhaps the most bizarre things I think all of us will remember about the pandemic was the hoarding of toilet paper. But guess what everybody else was hoarding? So much so that the supply is still unbelievably tight, while now you can find toilet paper everywhere. Webcams. Webcams became the new it product for hoarders. We tried to find Logitech C270, the company's most basic webcam, and here is what we found. Amazon, currently unavailable, can't get them. And Amazon says they do not know when these Logitech webcams will be back in stock. So we said, okay, let's go to Best Buy. It is not available within 250 miles of Midtown Manhattan, where our studios are. So we decided, let's get to the source himself, Logitech CEO. Not only is Logitech out of stock, but there was a 2 limit per household restriction on the webcam. When will the shortage end? We've got the president and CEO of Logitech right here in a Fox Business exclusive, Bracken Darrell. Bracken, hilarious, but serious. I mean, listen, every CEO wants their product to be in this much demand, but what was behind the fact that people were hoarding webcams and then you just couldn't find them?
Well, I never dreamed that I'd be listening to you compare one of my products to toilet paper demand, but the real driver is kind of two steps. There were two steps of things that happened. The first one was back when the pandemic really started in China. Our factory and all of our suppliers were shut down for 3 weeks, so that put us offline. Then we came back and we were on track to be in full supply by the end of March, and then wham, shelter at home came. And when shelter at home came, so many people needed webcams that we just had our orders spike, and we were completely sold out. So now what we did in the meantime, which is probably frustrating some of the people listening to me now, but when you hear it, you won't be as frustrated. We allocated everything we had to hospitals, doctors, nurses, and to teachers and students, where we could had visibility to that. Many of them we gave away for free. Now we should be back in good supply by the time we get to the end of this quarter, so by the end of June. We're making them like crazy.
Oh, okay. That is breaking news. So you've been able to get your suppliers back in gear. These are small suppliers, correct? And many, as you just mentioned, are in China. Has this experience made you rethink your supply chain?
Not really. You know, we feel really good about our supply chain. I don't think anybody could predict a spike quite like that one in those 3 weeks of March. You know, we were already having a strong performance for the quarter, and then March they just took off, especially in webcams. But I think we've got great suppliers, and our supply chain is really stable and strong. We just have to up our capacity, and we are.
Do you have, Bracken, any control over price gouging? Because some of the third-party distributors of the webcams were hiking prices by anywhere from 50 to 100+%.
No, and I'm infuriated by this. You know, we haven't touched our MSRPs, and I consider it unethical. You know, and if we could control it, we certainly would. We don't control pricing in the marketplace, but we certainly don't condone it.
Okay, I'm glad to hear that. And I really like that you guys prioritize teachers and hospitals for the webcams. Okay, so everyone calm down. By the end of June, he says the supply is going to be back. I want to talk about another one of your hot sellers was anything and everything for gaming, e-gaming. So talk to me about what kind of spike you saw in those sales.
Well, you know, again, we saw the same kind of very strong double-digit spikes in most of our gaming categories. And now the truth about both the gaming categories and our video business is they've been on this long-term secular trend anyway. You know, I think gaming will be in the Olympic. I wouldn't be surprised if gaming is an Olympic sport or an experimental sport in the Los Angeles Games. You know, gaming is just on a long secular rise. Now, when everybody's at home and needs a way to escape a little bit, gaming's become very, very popular. All kinds of gaming, by the way, but the kind that we play especially. And so our business has done well as we've gone through March and into April and May.
You know, you make a great sort of partner for equipment when it comes to all Apple products, keyboards for iPads, smart pens. Have you seen any kind of change in sales there? Because that gives us an interesting indication, or at least a way to triangulate how Apple sales are doing.
Well, we had a very strong finish, a strong quarter in our iPad keyboards. Our education business continues to be really, really good. And as students are trying to, right now in K to 12 especially, every student really needs a computing device. In the past, you could share them
Yeah.
at school. Now they can't. So, I think we've certainly seen some demand strength there.
Bracken, thank you. I like this story very much, and we'll be watching it. I have about 2,000 Logitech products all over my house. I trip over them like they're Lego bricks. Bracken Darrell of Logitech. We are coming right back. The Dow Jones Industrial still struggling, down 65. The S&P's turned negative by 1 point.